Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Purgatory, brought to you by 4Strategy Gaming. It is Monday, September 12th, 2011, and today we will be discussing the resource color choices made in Diablo 3 and the reasons behind them, some clarification from Blizzard between the difference in the Friends and Family and closed betas, the recent Blizzard article discussing the Cauldron of Jordan, Nephilim Cube, and crafting, and then lastly, the closed beta expected to start this week. Over at DiabloFans.com, there was recently a post created discussing the resource color decisions made in Diablo 3, namely looking at the Demon Hunter resource of Hatred and Discipline. Last week, when the official Blizzard community site did actually post their resource page, there was a lot of questions concerning the Demon Hunter resource split and the color choices that were made, namely the fact that Hatred and Discipline are red and blue, and that looks very much like the health globe and the mana globe. People were wondering, hey, why didn't they go with a different color scheme? Now, there was a blue response to this, and you can go ahead and head on over to the article to take a look at it in detail. But basically, the synopsis is the fact that they wanted to make sure that with your peripheral vision, you could easily distinguish the colors of your resource globe, especially given the fact that a majority of time you will be looking at the action on the screen and having to constantly take your eyes away just to be able to see how much of a resource you have left was something that they were trying to avoid. So they wanted to make sure that the color choices were completely opposite on the color wheel. Also, they did make note of the fact that the red and blue used are a little bit darker than the mana and the health globes that are in the game, so there is some sort of distinguishment between the two. This also led in discussion as to why green wasn't used for the Witch Doctor, and possibly the idea of using Mojo or Voodoo was brought up in discussion as well. And again, the reason behind this is because green is so closely tied with poison in the Diablo universe that they thought that this would not work well, and that could very well have been part of the reason that led to their decision to give the Witch Doctor mana. But head on over to DiabloFans.com, go ahead and give the article a read. It's certainly worth your time. With all the excitement last week behind the start of the Friends and Family beta, there was also a lot of confusion accompanied with it. People wondering about the differences between the Friends and Family and closed beta, and also whether or not press and media had access to a different or extra beta that included more content. Bashyok did make a post trying to clarify some of this, basically informing people that there is no difference. Friend and Family is just supposed to be currently for Friends and Family. There is just one beta. We are on the FNF phase. Press and media do not have access to any sort of extra beta. There's no extra content available currently for anybody. Now, he did also clarify the fact that some press and fan sites did get keys, and that was a mistake. They were not supposed to get keys for this phase, and they have had their access revoked. Essentially, anyone who's works for a major media outlet or monetizes on any content or has a large YouTube channel was not supposed to have access to the beta. Keys that got sent out accidentally were pulled back. In fact, you may have seen people who said they would stream stop streaming, or people who were streaming had to discontinue streaming for this very reason. So there is just one beta. We're currently in the Friends and Family phase, and again, thank you to Bashyok for going ahead and trying to clear that up for some people. Nobody has extra content. No one in the press should have access to it either. We do expect the beta to be starting sometime very soon, however, and at that point you will be seeing large YouTube personalities and press and media people begin to post content. Late last week, Blizzard's community site was updated with a new article discussing the Cauldron of Jordan, Nephilim Cube, and crafting, and basically how the three things relate together. Now, a lot of us hardcore followers will know all about this, but if you are new to the Diablo franchise, or if you know nothing about any of these things, I would obviously suggest going to the community site and taking a look at the article. The Cauldron of Jordan and the Nephilim Cube, essentially both items that are going to be used to break down and sell materials. The Cauldron of Jordan specifically allows you to sell items while on the run, so you don't have to head back to town to sell anything or anything like that. You can just go ahead, drop it in there, and you'll get cash for it. In addition to that, the Nephilim Cube will be used to break down items and give you crafting material. So if you, instead of wanting to sell an item in your Cauldron of Jordan while you're in the middle of a dungeon, you can use the Nephilim Cube to put items inside of it, and then that breaks it down, gives you crafting materials, and that will allow you to craft gear and anything through the artisans. So pretty cool article. Again, it's just a nice little introduction behind these three things. If you don't know anything about them, go take a look. Might as well go ahead and place your bets now because the Diablo 3 closed beta is looking to start this week. Expectations are currently that the closed beta will be starting during the mid to early part of the week. I am thinking Tuesday and Wednesday, possibly Thursday. Don't think it's going to be as late as Friday, although it is possible, but it is looking to start this week. That is the current expectation. Buzz around the rumor mill. Fairly decent sources giving me this information. You can call me whatever you want, but I'm pretty certain that we're going to be looking to the start of the closed beta. So what this means to you folks in the public is that if you have opted in to the beta, this will be your chance to go ahead and get in. This also means that the press, fan sites, and media personalities will be able to start posting content, so you can expect just a flood of top-notch, high-quality content. Hopefully we get a lot more commentary out there than we currently have as well. Currently, there's a decent amount of footage. Not all of it's at the greatest aspect ratio or the greatest quality, but the biggest concern for me right now is that there's not a lot of commentary. I know some people just like gameplay, but the majority of people do want commentary along with their footage, so looking forward to this, and I'm certainly looking forward to producing a ton of that for you guys as well. Alright everyone, well that's going to do it for this episode of Purgatory. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for lots and lots of Diablo 3 content this week. So very exciting, and keep your fingers crossed, all of you lovely people in the community and in the public who are still hoping for access to that closed beta. You will be finding out very shortly if you're going to make it in the first wave. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.